The dude, I've had my mic off this whole time. Fa, thank you for saying something. That's bro. Okay, let me restart this. Let me restart this from the beginning. That's embarrassing. So this should be more of an engaging stream, guys. I'm gonna take this stream. I'm in more of a mood to backtest today, so this should be a better stream. Unlike the streams where I just chill out. I'm gonna actually try and take this. I'm gonna do the stream. I'm gonna be more engaging this stream. I just backtested this trade. We basically just were reviewing this this short. The cool thing about this is we had a failed bullish one, and we pushed up into the new day opening gap. And well, this isn't even that great of an IFG because look at that candle. Look at how we wick into the new day opening gap. So I wouldn't even taken this, right? But this failed one makes this bearish one after higher probability, and you can see it came with SMT, and we also manipulated all the true opens. So anyway, that's the trade I backtested so far. Now what I'm looking at is, okay, we came down below all the true opens, now we're below all of them, and then we get an external sweep of this low. And yes, I would consider this an external sweep even though we don't sweep out this low. And I'm going to make a video on external versus internal sweeps later this week, or I have one coming out later this week. I already made it. Sorry if I'm talking fast, but I'm just annoyed that it wasn't recording my audio. It's so annoying, but anyway, it's all good. Yeah, so then we came down the other side of the curve. We were below all the true opens. We were below midnight. Midnight's all the way up here. So yeah, we're definitely below midnight. We're below true session open. And what's the true 90-minute? 15:22, right? I don't know. I'm enjoying looking at PM right now. Yeah, there should be a 90-minute true open at 15:22. So look at that. You see that low forms right below that 90-minute true open. So 15:22. Boom. I'm pretty sure that's a true open. If 12:22 is, then 15:22 is. Do I have one for 12:22? Yep. Man, I don't backtest PM that often. But I do think PM's cool. I think one day when I have my own place and kind of have my own setup, I'm probably going to trade PM more often because, you know, might as well be more fun. But I do need to, you know, also work, so I can't really right now. But one day. But yeah, like I said, hopefully this is more of an engaging stream here. So I like how we manipulate the true open. Then we get displacement higher. I would consider just having the displacement being a breaker structure, but we do actually have a official breaker structure there. So there's the breaker structure, and then you can see we have this displacement leg. We perfectly come to OTE. So this is your ICT OTE. You know, OCT of the OTE of the displacement leg with your 2022 gap, and then we continue up. It'd be cool. Let's see if there was a. So once again, there's like 3 different kinds of 2022 models. This is something I've not really talked about yet, but there's gonna be the ones where they perfectly hold equilibrium, the ones where they go to OTE. And then there'll be ones where it's like, basically like, we have so much displacement we don't go to equilibrium at all. So there's all kinds of there's different versions. This is something ICT doesn't really say, but it's something I've realized. So I might have a video come out on that at some point. Okay, there's OTE, bang. We have this this 2022 gap here. I mean, you could have used it right here. This would also be a valid entry, but this one's even better because it's an inducement of a low. So we get an inducement of that low there. Bang. Into OTE. And my laptop is low on battery. I'm back. Okay, so once again, this is nice because it's it's perfectly tapping OTE. It's inducing a low. Let's check the 22-minute true open. We don't get it. Or we get it here, and that gets manipulated right at that same time. That is fascinating. Here, actually, it's right here. So it's kind of about seeing how the true opens. Not are we above them or below them, but have we efficiently manipulated them? That's the question. And if so, if we've efficiently manipulated the true open, then we're well on our way. That's what that means. So very fascinating. Then obviously we get displacement higher. We have a 90-minute low here. So 90-minute sweep. And then we might even have a 90-minute S&T here. Yeah, this is nice. Wow. Where's the 90-minute sweep? I'll just make it. My guess is we probably had S&T as well. Oh, I already have it. In such a weird spot. Alright. So 90-minute sweep. Man, I want to make an indicator which identifies. I know Jan has his indicator that identifies SSMT. Might be interested to look at that. The indicator I have might actually identify it. The indicator I have. Yeah, the problem with the indicator I have is I don't think it's 30-minute cycles. I think it's 22 minutes. So I think this indicator kind of has it a little wrong. But I do want to have it alert me when there's a 90-minute and there's a session S&T. So maybe I should include show labels. Yeah, I do actually want to be able to see when it's a session S&T. So that's kind of nice. And let's make those labels white so I can actually see them. And I only want to see 90-minute in session. And yeah, this is actually a huge W. Huge W. I can't believe I wasn't using this. It's because I've looked in the past and saw it was that they had 30-minute ones because I don't really like those, but I should definitely have it showing me when there's 90-minute. So now there's a way to put a color on the label. How do I do that? There's gotta be, right? No, there's gotta be. Bullish line color. Oh, that's ugly. Oh man. Man, that's actually kind of ugly. It doesn't let me make it white. Why doesn't it let me make it white? Huh. Well, it's better to have it there than not, right? Actually, I don't know. I don't like it that much. I might turn it off and on later. I don't know. Just depends. Like, probably when I'm live trading, but I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay, but anyway, we do have a 90-minute SMT with ES right here, which is kind of cool. But one day I want to make my own SMT indicator so I can include it in, and I want to make my own IFG indicator as well. I want to make my own CISD indicator. I want to make all the indicators so that way people have access to everything. If they want to get my membership. Yo, these are perfectly equal highs. So, dang, bro. Everything really did fit together like a puzzle here. Man, that's cool. Yeah, this is a sick trade. Now put stop loss like there, below the hippo. Boop. And then we also induce this low. Y'all see how perfect that is, right? Bang. So sick. Wicks into OTE. Right there. And then bang. The rest is history. We run it up to the equal highs. Yeah, this is fire. And there probably was a 2022 what's it called? Probably was a low time frame change state off of this as well. Man, when you really look at it, the market really is kind of perfect. And then we even had an inversion for value gap off of it too. That's such a fire trade. And then we go up to the equal highs. Bang. Yeah, I'd enter as an inducement at that low. Sheesh. This is a cool trade. $15.37, 2022 model. On the 1 minute. And then we could also see if this was a 2022 plus, meaning a low time frame change state of delivery off of that 2022 gap. Hey, what up? How's it going, Jags here? Dude, how's it going? Dude, you're new here? That's awesome. If there's any way I can help you at all, I'm here, bro. Let me know if there's any way, anything I can do for you, bro. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and post this in the trading, what it's called, the Discord. Bang, dude! Look at that 2022 model. What was this at? Yeah, it was at 15.37. Such a sick trade. Yeah, let me know if you need anything. Do you teach here? Yeah, of course. These are the type of streams where I'm most able to teach because I'm not live trading. Because I'm not live trading, right? When I'm live trading, I have to actually focus. But here, I'm more or less just learning and reviewing the week. Yeah, the link's in my bio, bro. Go ahead and join it, of course. Yeah, so, sheesh, this was cool. So I will put in 15.37, 2022 model on the 1 minute with 90-minute SS&T. So sick. And then all true opens. Okay, so let's go ahead. We will look at that IFG in a second, but I do want to look and see if there was a low time frame change in state here instead. We obviously had this super low time frame one here. That, man, if you took that, you're a goat. I guess we could first look at that one. Like, it's not, this one's not realistic. I'm not saying it is, but I do like to observe it because it happens, right? That's fire. When do you go live for teaching? Now, bro. Like, I don't really do a specific stream for teaching. The main times I teach live are when I'm doing weekend backtesting. So now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time if you want help with that. So just ask away, ask any questions, or if you just want me to teach something, then just say, just teach me something. I don't care what it is, just say, teach me something. Or if you want a specific question, ask that too. So yeah, here's 2022 plus, meaning change the delivery off of the 2022 gap. Now this one's a very aggressive version. I'm not denying that, right? This is very aggressive, but still very, very precise. So bang, 5-second change state off of the 1 minute for about 2022 gap. That's what I refer to 2022 plus as, is just waiting for a change in state or IFG off of a 2022 gap on the align time frame. So I've never made a video on 2022 plus. 1538, 2022 plus, 1 minute aligned with the 5-second. But it's something I discovered. More realistically, that trade's not realistic. I would say the more realistic version would be, I want to learn breaker blocks, market structure shift, Koch, please, very confusing. Of course, bro, of course. So I actually don't trade coach. I've never even actually learned it. So I'm not going to be the best for Choach. Now I would actually like to learn about it just so I know about it. But I haven't ever studied coach or change of character. I'm pretty sure it's very similar to breaker structure, and so I just use breaker structure. For understanding breaker structure. But yeah, I can explain all that. I also highly recommend. There's lots of short form videos I have that explain them probably better than I could in this moment if I had to guess. So I have so many short form videos, bro. I'll give you a few to watch that I recommend for those topics. So I would say go in here and go to coach's same as change state, maybe, bro. But like I said, I've never researched it, so I don't trade that concept. But I think it's very similar to break of structure, I think. Yeah. So there's let me go down. I'll give you some good ones to watch. You can watch the one I'll say that's gonna explain it the best: order block versus breaker block. So order block versus breaker block, that's gonna be really good for that. And then what was the other question? You wanted to know market structure shift. So yeah, this breaker block explained video is probably good for wondering what breaker blocks are. Market structure shift versus CISD. That one might be helpful. And yeah, and then you could watch what is change in state delivery. That one could be helpful. Yeah, for those questions, I would say those four. So rewind the video if you have to figure out which ones that to watch, but those are the ones I'd recommend. So yeah. Why is this on? Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad, bro. I would also consider this as change in state. So I would go like this, say bang, we get a up close candle that gets closed above. I mean, I know it's not that obvious, but you know, I can just tell bang, close above that down close candle. That's not a normal change. That I don't even know if I've ever recorded that type of change in state, but anyway. Do you have a strategy you use every day? Yeah, bro, I do. It's here. Let me finish recording this. This is not a don't. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say anything. That's not a normal change state delivery. That's just based off of this weird context here. Hold up. Let me screenshot this. So I'll explain the way I trade. So yeah, screenshot this. So 1538, 2022 plus, 1 minute aligned with the 15 second. All right. So the way I trade, it's very simple. Once you understand the market and how it moves, you understand that it's all just highs and lows, right? Above every high, above old highs, there's gonna be it's called what's called liquidity. But what that means is basically there's going to be buy stops above old highs, sell stops below old lows, and your job is to so if that didn't make sense, that's okay. Your job as a trader is to identify accumulation, meaning market just consolidating, generating stop losses on either side. You want to see manipulation of one side and then distribution. So I trade the concept AMD, and then within AMD, there's all different kinds of ways to enter. So I could take a change of state delivery. I could take an inversion fair value gap. I could take a regular fair value gap. That's the 2022 model. I could take a rejection block. I could take, the list goes on, right? I could take a second stage distribution off the breaker block. I could take, right? There's just a million ways to trade AMD. And AMD is not always going to look like this. It's not always going to look like, oh, this perfect little box of AMD. It might look kind of confusing. It might look like, oh, one side gets manipulated halfway and then the other side gets manipulated all the way. Like, it's very hard. It's very hard because sometimes the market's, the way it manipulates is going to be a little different. But at the core, it's going to be generation of a range, manipulation, and then trading to get onside with distribution. And then any entry to get onside with it. Any time frame. A lot of time I use low time frames. So I actually trade a lot of low time frame setups. So yeah. So bang. Now we'll look at this IFG that happened next. So the IFG was probably an easier, more obvious entry. That one I would actually definitely consider taking. So here's the IFG, right? So the inversion for value gap. Let's say you didn't enter off this inducement, right? Let's say you waited. So you don't enter on this inducement. Yep, yeah, because it's all fractal. So if I understand, right, if I understand where stop losses are, and I understand it's like a microscope. It's a razor blade. Like it's like with how precise these markets are, the lower time frames allow. This is a very common misconception, and people are gonna disagree with me, call me out, but I'm just gonna say it straight. They're wrong. Lower time frames allow for even more incredible precision. It's like adding a scope onto your already super powerful sniper, right? It makes it allows you to zoom in and get an even more precise locked in entry. Once again, people disagree with that. That's on them. They're not going to really understand the full depth and truth of these markets, but lower time frames are very precise. It's like literally like just a extra little sharp piece onto the blade, So it's anyway. But yeah, I'll trade a lot of 30-second and 15-second trades actually. So the other way I enter is like outside bars as well. Outside bars are nice. But if you think about it, the market's manipulating and hunting highs and lows, hunting liquidity on all time frames. It's not just not hunting liquidity. Like, it doesn't just turn off on a certain time frame. No, it's happening everywhere on all time frames. So yeah, I like this inversion for value gap a lot. And then maybe you could take this as a Jan entry here. So I'll record both. So there's your inversion for value gap. Bang. Yeah, I'd probably have to take the Jan entry on this one. Could you please show an example of the trade you took here on the chart with AMD? The trade I took when? Like from Friday? You want me to show you one of the trades I took from Friday? I can show you the trade I took live on Friday. You want me to? Yeah, I'll show you the trade I took live on Friday. That was a 2R. So, bang. Yeah, that's the thing people don't understand is AMD, it's gonna come in all shapes and forms, and sometimes it might not be so obvious for some people, and so they just say, oh, they like to try and make excuses, but there was still AMD there, they just didn't see it correctly. So 1542 inversion for value gap on the 1 minute, and then also the Jan entry, meaning entry on like a little bit of a retrace. We actually have a fair value gap here, so bang. Jan entries are either entries on like a retrace. Sorry, this might not make you don't need to understand all this that I'm saying. I'm just talking for anyone who wants to know. So what a Jan entry is it's basically we get the regular inversion for value gap, and you just wait for either a retest of that inversion for value gap, so either here or maybe on a little bit of a retrace into a gap like this. You were trying to find what? The trades I took on Friday? Yeah, I'll show you the trade I took on Friday. But yeah, let me first screenshot this. I like this a lot. Once again, this is just a idea of a final TP. I wouldn't necessarily have to take profit there, right? Okay, 1543. IVG-J. And this was only 1 minute. I'm going to make a note about Jan entries right here. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. IVG Jan entry is anything on a IVG retrace that makes sense. Could be a retest of the IVG. Could be a gap below the IVG BTC. Nice, bro. Jan entry explained. I should make a video on that. I've never talked about that, but I don't know. There's a lot of things I haven't made videos on. Okay, so you want to know what my trade was. You want to know what trade I took live. Well, it's actually pretty cool. It's a very simple idea. Basically, look at the market. It would be helpful to see what you do different. Yeah. And you know what? Just so you can see that it's all real and it happened, I'm going to actually show you the live stream as well and show you my thought process. So what my trade was is, first of all, look at price action on Friday, right? Friday was a lower time frame day. Lower time frames ruled the charts. Why? Because look at this. It's all chopped back up and down. So what does that mean? If that means the higher time frame's consolidating, right? So on the 15-minute chart, this probably looks like a whole bunch of nasty wicks, right? This is what we call seek and destroy, by the way. That's the technical name, is seek and destroy, where basically we run liquidity back and forth, and what you end up getting is something that looks like this, where it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You see how that's just happening over and over again? That's seek and destroy. And so if I go down a lower time frame, it looks like still kind of like a mess. But actually what's occurring is, since higher time frames consolidating, lower time frame is running back and forth through highs and lows. So part of the understanding of today was understanding that, not today, of Friday, was understanding that it was seek and destroy conditions. So because I knew it was seek and destroy conditions, I was looking to basically take one side of the range, run it back to the other side. So what happened? We ended up getting bearish SMTs with this high. Hopefully you know what SMT is. But essentially what that means is if I pull up ES, you can see that ES makes a higher high and a and it was with this high. So you can see ES makes a higher high and a higher high with both these highs. NASDAQ makes a... Oh, did I do this wrong? Wait. So, no, actually, it's just SMT with... I'm pretty sure there was stacked SMTs. But these are both higher highs. Okay, anyway, there was for sure that SMT, right? So we had bearish SMT with that high. We sweep out all these bodies here and these relatively equal highs. So what is this? I'm going to actually pull up the trade because it's going to take too long to draw out. I should have made a video, a market recap for yesterday, because yesterday was a good lesson learning day. So here we go, right? So now, in hindsight, I guess there wasn't bearish SMT with that high. But anyway, bearish SMT with that high, we sweep out all of these local highs. What's this? Accumulation, manipulation. What's not one way we can know with a higher probability it's manipulation? Using time-based premium and discount levels. These are called true opens. So since we're above all of them, we're in time-based premium, right? Relative to time, we manipulate the highs. Then right here, you can see we get a 30-second closure below this gap. It's actually an implied gap. I've not made videos on implied gaps yet. Actually, it's below all of this. So this whole gap right here, from this low to this high, this is a fair value gap. We close below here, entry right there, and then I was aware that I could have targeted this swing low here because there's a accumulation range over there. So I was aware that I could have targeted this because obviously where there's a accumulation, there's going to be lots of transactions there. Use the volume profile tool and it becomes very obvious, right? So bang, mark out this whole entire range, and this is going to be a liquidity pool because there's a consolidation here. It's right below this low, and then that would be a great place to TP. Now, once again, I just took it as like a 2R trade. I only took it down to like this gap here. But still, 2R is great. And so I'll show you guys the live stream. So here's the live stream from Friday. That was a tape read. Okay, here we go. So accumulation, right? This whole entire thing is accumulation. Accumulation. Manipulation, how do we know it's manipulation? Because it's got bearish SMT and it was above the true opens. Then we had an inversion, and then we trade back to back inside the range. So there you go, bang, 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 and then you can see I took it here, right? There's my orange arrow. Take profit, and then there you go. I took profit right there. So that was that trade. Yeah, watch my live trading, bro. I live trade every single day from 8:30 to 11:10 Eastern. So, yeah. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful, bro. Man, what a cool day. We had a inversion for value gap here. Oh, I already looked at that. I looked at that trade. Dude, I'm glad. On Discord? Oh, I on YouTube, bro. I live trade on YouTube. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily be able to copy my trades, because once again, you might be able to, but I also don't recommend it because, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm a human. I make mistakes all the time, and let's be real, I also lose a lot, because as trading, you lose, but you also win. And actually, my win rate, it might even be below 50%, because I usually do higher RR trades. So most people don't understand that, but you can have a win rate below 50%, but be profitable because you're hitting, you know, 2Rs and 3Rs, or even 4Rs, right? It's about risk management. Yeah, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is always learn the skill for yourself. Then you know, you don't have to pay for Discords and all that stuff. So, okay, so what else should we look at? I'm liking looking at these afternoon trades. Wow, it was really kind of beautiful though. Now, was this a new day opening gap inside of a bigger new day opening gap, or are these overlapped? They're overlapped, okay. So, okay, what do we look at next, guys? Yeah, that's a beautiful Jan entry. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, dude, of course. Talk to you later, man. Glad I was helpful. So, okay. Should we look at a different day, or should we keep looking at at Friday? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Man, I feel like there probably was an outside bar here. Or a pin bar. Yo, this, like this, anytime you see a pin bar that takes true opens, I feel like that's such a good pin bar. I'd be interested to, backtest this idea of longing on the on the pin bar formation, taking true opens, right, with SSMT. This is a pretty cool idea, actually. And you know what? Let's see if it's a precision pin bar. Once again, precision swing point, same diff. If this was a precision swing point, that's sick. Hey, there's a precision swing point with this candle here. But was this one a precision swing point? That one was red. That one was red. This one was a precision swing point, though. Interesting. So, anyway, this is still an interesting pin bar. I wouldn't take this because I'm not experienced enough to do that yet, but interested about maybe someone taking this on the pin bars close like this. Not a realistic trade at all by any means, but I don't know. I like backtesting stuff because I always learn, you know. Okay, there's a pin bar taking true opens, so that would give me possibly conviction. It's a long. There's always so much interesting stuff that happens in these markets. It's crazy. Pin bar. So much opportunity all the time. And then, yeah. I guess there was not a new day opening gap at all, but yeah, pin bar right there. That manipulated all the true opens. 1528 pin bar on the 32nd. And then also this new idea, which I've talked about, I think barely, like on a live stream. So I've hardly talked about this, but this idea of called fractals, where you basically look for a swing low to form, and once it's formed, you enter. Should I make it yellow or orange? It is kind of cool just to experiment with new ideas, though. Fractal on the 32nd. Once again, it's all about context because we took the true opens with 90-minute SMT. So when we form a swing low, it's like, cool, I'm in. So that's what fractal is. I have never made a video on it, but basically when a swing low is like confirmed, then you just enter because, now the swing low has been formed. Okay. Let's see. How else can I do this? Oh, I also wanted to make a little purple one that says pin bar. So I'm going to start marking it out like that. Yeah, in my opinion, pin bar and outside bar are PD arrays, in my opinion. And inside bar too. Okay. Now what do we look at? I kind of want to move away from this segment of price. We've looked at this so much. But it was such an interesting day, I will admit. Like, I'm not even sure what to look at next. Maybe here. Oh yeah, let's look at the first line for value gap more. I'm curious if there was a trade off of it. Oh, looks like there was maybe a first strike to the downside. Oh, that's kind of cool. There might not have been, but maybe. I don't know. Nothing I really like. I don't like it. I mean, besides maybe if you take this as an inversion for value gap. Which I actually don't mind. Wait, actually, you know what? That is an interesting idea. It's a 90-minute SMT. 10:30, 9:30. Yeah, bro, this is 90-minute SMT. Also, I think I'm going to stop using partial SMTs because, I don't know, it just makes it too confusing for me. And I only want to use the SMTs that are higher probability anyway. So, not partial ones. Like, I just feel like they're not really needed, So I'm just going to stop using those partial time-based SMTs, only the real ones. I don't know if I'll delete the templates though. I might still use them. So there's midnight. Wow, that's crazy. Look how 7:30 got manipulated. I love trading, dude. Trading is so cool. Yeah, I mean, we got relatively equal highs too. Why do I have so many sweeps? Okay, I'm gonna start deleting some templates just here and there. I don't like that. I don't want it. Okay, how does the sweep 4 template look? Nope, that one is bad. I don't like it. Like, I need to get rid of the templates I don't use. Sweep 3. Nope, don't like that either. Sweep 2. I feel like none of those actual sweep templates are good. And then sweep. Yeah, bro. The only one I've been using regularly is sweep regular, so. Fire. Okay, so then what happens next? We sweep out these relatively equal highs with bearish SMT. Perfect. Okay. Now, getting displacement lower. What drawn liquidity do we have below? Data low. We also have a 90-minute low here. Yeah, I like the 90-minute low. Might have to start using 90-minute candles to help me. Oh, that's not. I didn't want to turn on gold buck. I want this thing. This indicator is actually super helpful. There's not 90-minute candles. This indicator is super helpful. I don't know why I don't use this more. For basically identifying the highs and lows of specific candles. So now, it sucks there's no 90 minutes. There's 45 minutes. You just can just mentally merge them together. Oh, you know what though? It was New York AM low. Because AM session had closed. Nope, AM low is right there. Thanks, this low was just a random low then. I don't know, I like this low right here. I mean, the data low was good, but we ended up getting bullish SMT. You know what? I'm just going to call it a 90-minute low. Is anyone even watching? Probably not. Because the problem is, I've done so many streams where I don't talk while backtesting that everyone just gets bored. No one wants to watch. Yeah, no one's here. That's all good, though. Dang, bro. I feel like this is valuable stuff, though. Yeah, and then we ended up getting a first strike with an inversion for value gap. So that's pretty cool. Once again, I consider inversion for value gaps to be used instead of what's it called? Instead of align time frame change. I consider align time frame inversion for value gaps as allowed instead of align time frame change state deliveries. Okay, let's find the 90-minute true open, which was $10.52. Ah, that one wasn't used at all. Probably because we're getting so much displacement. $10.58. Yep, that one used. Dude, I feel like this is such valuable stuff, and I feel like no one's gonna care until I'm starting to really, like, I'm making big money, and then everyone all of a sudden cares, But it's all good. Was there bearish SMT here too? Might turn IFG2 into IFG1 and then get rid of IFG1 because I don't even use the IFG1. Once again, I'm trying to clean up this. It's like a super messy room. Yeah, I don't even use that. I only use IFG2. What is this one? Yeah, I don't use either of those. But nah, I guess it's good to have a dark one and a light one, just in case, if I want to. What's IFG3 though? I feel like I don't need that. Yeah, let's get rid of IFG3. We don't need that. What's IFG4? I feel like I don't need that either. Same as IFG2. I don't need that. See, I'm going to slowly clean this up. Okay, so yeah, I would consider this first strike. Honestly, I would target probably this body here. Bang. Now, was there SMT? There literally was, dude. There literally was SMT. That's fire. This is light bulb. Light bulb as heck. Okay. Bang, bang, bang. Inversion for value gap. Dang it. It'd be cool if there was people watching, because I feel like, I feel like this is so valuable. But, dang. Oh, there's 3 watching now. Let's go. I need to use my phone more for the chat because sometimes I like seeing how many people are watching, like right now. But, because right now I'm trying to make an engaging stream, at least a little bit. But, yeah. Also, if anyone wants to do anything chill, like maybe like play chess or something else, I'm down for that as well. Because, this is more of a chill weekend stream, This is fire. Now, let's be real. This will probably break even. Yeah, this is fire. Now I take that, short it, project it, and then there's 4 projections. That is a sick trade. Bang. Now treat this as void. Now realistically though, very possibly this would have been break even, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Very possibly, but either way, it's chill. Once again, this violent move up, treat that as a void. I just saw from a while ago, like a long time ago, I commented in Dodgy's boot camp about on the liquidity voids episode, like saying I need to really study up on liquidity voids. And he just now liked my comment. But it was true. I actually learned a lot back then when I was studying Dodgy's boot camp. And I actually did study up on liquidity voids. Now I understand them pretty well. I mean, there's different. There's a. It's weird because there's like true liquidity voids, which is like those are your new day opening gaps and new week opening gap, and then there's implied liquidity voids. Like it's not a true liquidity void because obviously there were transactions within here, but it's going to act like a liquidity void. So I'm actually gonna make that a video actually. Okay, true liquidity voids. So like that's your end dogs, your end wogs, your volume balances. And then there's implied liquidity voids. And those are going to be when the market basically just expands so aggressively that there was very little trading that was occurred there. Not no trading, but very little trading. So market expanded so aggressively that very little trading took place there. Not no trading, but very little trading. All right. That's fire. I actually might turn this up to higher occupancy again. Like 80. Bang. Yeah, guys. I just gotta keep going. I feel like every day I get a little bit better. A little bit. I'm gonna just real quick. This is just gonna take a second. I'm gonna delete the 15 seconds. Just so I can save the template. Guys, I promise I'll try and make it more interesting in just a second. So yeah, first strike. And then yeah, obviously, you know, a sweep of this high. Yeah, Every day I just get a little better. Just a little better. But man, quarterly theory is truth. I think CRT is truth too. I think it's all different perspectives on the same thing in reality. Like, it really is. Actually, I would treat this whole thing like liquidity void. That's a cool trade. First strike, baby. Using an inversion for value gap. There you go. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Is this text not bold? It is. That's sick. Everyone's like, why do you have your chart colors just the basic chart colors? Because I like the basic chart colors. I don't even know, like, I've tried other colors and there's just, I don't know. I vibe with the OG colors. What do you guys think? I don't know. I'm not just gonna try and be someone I'm not. I vibe with the OG colors. So 15-second IPG. I mean, you really could have treated this as a one-setter for life. It's unfortunate because it's just shocking we didn't go the data low. I kind of want to investigate that. I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. So, yeah, 1108. Oh, this is not an inversion for value gap. This is a first strike. 1 minute lined with the 15-second. Okay. Now what? Now probably no one's watching. Yeah, no one's watching now. Okay. $11.08. Man, I'm vibing this stream though. I'm gonna keep going. I don't really care. Maybe this will be a very long stream. Who knows? First strike using that's fire. Okay, what else do we look at here? Maybe let's move on from Friday. It's beautiful. That's beautiful. I feel like next time that kind of trade happens, I feel like I'm gonna take it. And you can see the higher time from AMD, the lower time from AMD, right? Like, I see it. This is just gonna be a little exercise here, but I'm just gonna outline and guys, I'm gonna try and just delete stuff here and there. Like, I think let's delete a template. What should we delete? What's the difference between this? Wait, what's the difference between this? Oh, because it's inside. Yeah, I don't even use that. I think let's just have it be where 1 to 1.25 is the one on the top, and 1 to 1.252 is the one on the bottom. Oh, but sometimes I like it on the top right. It really does depend. But I think it's just too messy. Yeah, let's just go ahead and make them all the same. I don't know. I'm just going to slowly do this over time, so. So 1 to 1.25 is in the bottom left. So we can get rid of 1 to 1.25. See, now it's going to be very boring. Oh. That's okay, though. No one's even watching anyways. Doesn't matter. If anyone's watching, say something and I'll, make it more interesting. But I'm going to just delete templates and stuff. I'm just going to do the first 4, and then I'm going to move on. And then 4 to 4.25 should be correct. Nope, it's not. Yeah, I'm going to move on. It'll be a long work in progress. Okay. All right, what should I look at next? Yeah, that was very fascinating. I really love this reinversion of the first center value gap. I talked about this, guys. It's the cool thing. I talked about this. When we reinverse this, I could tell we were going to go up to this high. Yeah, let's take a look at that because I think that's kind of cool. And I tape read this trade live. And then actually, we'll probably take a look at Thursday, or we'll take a look at like some random day, like Wednesday or Tuesday or something. Or maybe like a London session or something. Yeah, I feel like I've analyzed this price action way too much here. Wow, yeah, this is why this worked. Y'all see that, how we took all the true opens, efficiently manipulated them, like up, back down, manipulated all of them, and then we run higher. Where's the low time frame one? What if it's right there? I swear, it might be 10:13. Yeah, well, we were below it. Unless... Oh, no way. Yo, that's insane. Wait, all of the true opens get efficiently manipulated in this giant wick down. Whoa. That's cool. Whoa. Yeah, that's something you'll see a lot is the true open will be the start of the order block for some reason. I'm going to take a note of that, and I'll probably make a video about that. The open of the order block. Yeah, so something you'll see a lot, which is kind of fascinating, is the true open will represent the opening of the order block. This is a bad example, but it does happen quite a bit. And then, yeah, we re-inverse this. Bang. Bang. So sick. We might have had bullish SMT. I legit can't remember. I think that's why we started coming back up. Yeah. With that low. So it was 90-minute SMT because it was with the... Hey, what up? How's it going? Finally, someone's here. Let's go. Dude, good. I'm just reviewing all kinds of trades. Dude, this has been a very productive backtesting session. I'm mad chilling. I feel like normally I'm not this engaging with the stream. Sometimes I get, I have those super chill streams where I don't talk a lot, but today, I'm talking a lot, and so... I don't know. I'm surprised more people aren't wanting to watch. But yeah, dude, I'm doing good. I find this to be very fascinating. Check this out. So I tape read this trade live. This was a re-inversion of the first presented for value gap. And what's cool is look at how we efficiently manipulate and deliver back through all the true opens. Perfectly pop below the last one right here. This is so sick, actually. Like, how could this be random? This is so cool. Efficiently deliver back through all of them. And then we re-inverse this and then go to the highs. And I did backtest this. Not backtest this, tape read it. I tape read it live. So interesting. Okay, we'll move on to like Wednesday or something because I've backtested Friday like so much. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that is really cool in my opinion. And we had these relatively equal lows, or maybe they were equal lows. What up, Cave? Did I say hey to Cave? I don't remember. What up, Cave? How's it going? So there you go. Equal. We got to make a new template for equal lows. I'm cleaning up my templates a lot here. Might make these more transparent because I literally cannot see the trade. Yeah, I'm chilling too. Yeah, low key. Wait, I actually might do this with all the true opens because it gets in the way of the trades. In all honesty, dang, this is a good idea. Turning down the occupacity, or maybe making the occupacity higher for like midnight open or something. Maybe that's too low. Sorry guys, I keep getting distracted. with different things, but okay, we'll just do 50%. Okay, but look at how we come up, close above, efficiently deliver back below all the true opens, and then we go higher again. That is so cool. Okay, I'm screenshotting that. Yeah, we're gonna go look at Wednesday because I've backtested Friday enough, and maybe we'll look at the whole entire weekly range because I haven't looked at that. So 1038, probably already have this one in here. 1-P. And guys, if you ever want access to all my trade archives going back 2 years, I'm gonna make it part of the YouTube memberships. If anyone wants it, just like an extra thing to support me, because I want everything to be genuinely like free and helping people. But if anyone wants extra stuff, I want to also provide that too. But there's a reason I trade live, So first minute for value gap conversion, 1 minute. Okay, bang. Okay, let's go look at Wednesday. I don't know, I'm just feeling Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday was FOMC. But I didn't trade Wednesday, so Wednesday should be a good day to review. So let's go ahead and go to Wednesday. So first things first, we're just gonna do a very rough analysis of Wednesday. Yeah, this is also kind of like seek and destroy conditions a little bit. So, we had a midnight open over here. Yeah, look at how midnight got manipulated there. That's cool. Oh yeah, I like them lower occupacity. I think I'll slowly start converting them. Maybe like 70%. Or 60%. I like 65%. So I'll slowly start converting these. Actually, no. Bro, I cannot decide anything today. Okay. So there's midnight. There's 7:30. Okay. Did I backtest on Wednesday? I have something. Yeah, I looked at this 1 minute fractal. I like that. I like this 1 minute fractal as well. Do I have that one? Okay. Let's see if there were any SMTs. Bearish SMT with this high. Fascinating. First presented for value gaps. This was kind of confusing because first presented for value gap was different on MNQ than NQ. And you know what? I might look at a London session or something later. Okay, not looking like anything else here. Man, I feel like I did kind of analyze Monday or Wednesday decently. See that void with end dog below? That was a pretty good draw on liquidity. Asia low was a good target. Okay, let's see if there were any obvious shorts to Asia low. Did I not trade live? I don't think I did. There's definitely some kind of trade to Asia low. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Yeah, and obviously we had a Phoenix model here, Phoenix type A. Phoenix here as well. There might have been, I think there was an outside bar at the high, and I think I saved that trade already. No, there wasn't. Okay, where was the trade here? Yeah, I think this is what it was, right? Relatively equal highs, so you know, okay, light bulbs going off, 2022 model, likely starting. So there's your relatively equal highs, or maybe equal highs. Yo, let's ask, I kind of want to ask ICT GPT, just to make sure I get this right. Or maybe I might even have it in my notes. I want to figure out, like, what is the rule for silver bullet? I've looked at it before. Jake's definition of silver bullet. A 2022 model where the FVG for it forms after 10 a.m. It could be any kind of fair value gap. Okay, that makes sense. That's my definition. That's a good definition, honestly. Someone say something. So there's Phoenix type A, Phoenix type B. Yeah, this is not a silver bullet. Silver bullet would be fair value gap that forms after 10. So I guess silver bullet would be this gap here. Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. So first I'm going to record that. I'm actually going to put a little bonus note here. 2022 model, well, the FVG forms it for it forms after 10 a.m. And I'm going to put January 31, 26 update. Specifically, it's the FVG that forms in the correct direction of bias. Nah, I'm just gonna put the FVG forms for it after 10 a.m. Okay. Oh, that's ugly. Why do I have that template? That template's ugly too. I gotta have a good silver bullet template. No. I don't like that one. Hey, maybe for silver bullet it should have an outline, like a, silver outline for silver bullet. There you go. I like that. There you go. Bang. Okay, first I'm going to record that. Bang. That's fire. I'll probably project out this order block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Probably just go to Asia low. Probably. I mean, you could go much further. There's obviously this generated liquidity here with this void. That actually is kind of a good target, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I would target there. Was there SMT there? I kind of want to check. Make the trade a little cooler. There literally was. That's sick. Yeah, let's just call this silver. Yeah, we'll call it silver bullet. There you go. 10:30. The silver bullet on the 1 minute. Bang. So yeah, my definition of silver bullet, once again, it is a 2022 model where the FVG forms for it, where the FVG for it forms after 10 a.m. Could be a 1 minute gap, could be 5 minute, could be anything. But a 2022 model where the FVG form, a 2022 model where the FVG for it forms after 10 a.m. That's it. That's all it is. It's my definition. I've not made a video on silver bullet, and I honestly kind of need to, because now I'm starting to get it. I think I'll backtest it a little bit more though to kind of make sure it's correct, but yeah. Okay. Moving on from that. Yeah, so I like these equal highs. Was this a 90-minute SMT? Here's the, yeah. It was, huh? SMT with Q2 and Q3. That's sick. Every day, I just learn something new. Like, there you go. There's your 90-minute SMT with Q2 and Q3. And it's very cool on the 3 minute, it becomes very clear. On the 3 minute, it's a rejection block. Man, there's no fair value gap. Yeah, and this was definitely silver bullet on the 3 minute here. Okay, we gotta look at that too. Dang, bro. There's a lot that I'm looking at. Yeah, this is probably a really obvious silver bullet right here on the 3 minute. Silver bullet's pretty easy. Just kind of look for that fair value gap after 10. That makes sense with the drawn liquidity. Okay, I keep getting distracted. I will look at this higher time frame, but first, this is cool. I put stop loss probably like there. Wow, that's beautiful. You can literally see the stop loss is just flowing price lower. There you go. I'd probably go something like this. Yeah, like that. Bang. Yeah, that's a cool trade. So, 10-15. Silver bullet on the 3-minute. And then, I'd like to go to a 15-second chart and see if there's an aligned time frame inversion for value gap or a change state delivery. If so, that would be very cool. Yeah, there literally is. You can see it. It's right there. Bang. So, that's so sick. These markets are perfect. Jeez. And then retest of that. Honestly, project this out. 8 projections. There you go. Bang, dude. Dang. What a sick trade. Never backtested this before. This is a first time for looking at a silver bullet plus. Wow. There's 4, there's 5, there's 6. You can see all of them getting hit. You can see the reactions off of the standard deviations. Boom. 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 That's crazy. Dang, bro. That's so cool. Bang. Silver bullet plus. There you go. On at 10:30. Same exact entry. Silver bullet plus 1 minute. Never backtested that before. That's the first time. Dude, I was meaning to backtest all the way up there because there's a 2022 model that occurs up there as well, and that one's cool because that one's above all the true opens. Hey, Chad.
Hi. I'm just here to remind you to go on around.
Dude, I'm enjoying backtesting right now.
I know you are.
No one's watching though. I know. I still have to drink the rest of this.
I'm just here to remind you of this.
What? Bro, yeah, look, no one's watching.
Nice. I'm here to remind you that this exists.
Bro. Oh, because I gotta go running?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm just kidding. I'm kind of doing this to...
Do you want to go running? Is that what you're asking? Dude, no one's watching right now.
That's funny.
It's so weird. Like I did a live stream like back in the day on a Saturday, and it was like that day was like 20 people were watching.
Whoa.
Now, like that was like 6-8 months ago. Nowadays, dude, live stream on a Saturday. This is what I get. It's funny though.
I'm just gonna run on the treadmill. But I just came down here mainly to just like remind myself that I need to.
Okay. Yeah, that's valid.
Because I'm like trying to get myself to run.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have a good run. I probably need to go later
Okay.
at some point soon. Okay. See ya. Yeah. Did I save this yet? 10:30. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I do want to review this here, so let's get rid of this. Beautiful. So here, in this specific trade, I would target Asia low. You can see how nicely that gets hit. So then what else occurs, right? We get an equal high sweep with 90-minute SMT. And then we come all the way up to Ferrari gap. And I can see there's a breaker in Ferrari gap there. Almost makes me curious if this was a, what's it called? The Khufu stack. It would be, but there's no rejection block here. There's a void there though. Okay, let's look at all the true opens because this is gonna get very interesting, very fast. So at the very least, this is a 2022 model where the gap is right here. So there's midnight, there's 7:30. Here's 9:22. There we go. Do I like it like that? Or do I like the darker version better? No, the lighter version's better. Okay. So there's 922. Then 951. There you go. And there you go, just like that. Like I didn't even have to guess. I just knew. I knew that all the true opens would be manipulated. It's so cool how that, how that works. I don't know how it works, but I know it does. I wonder if I got a sub. Probably not, but maybe. I've been streaming for a while. No one's been watching though. My guess is no. I probably didn't. what's it called? Um, Dude, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna look up? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. What the heck? Oh yeah. Let's see if I got a sub. Hey, I got 3. Oh my gosh, that's so dope. All right, someone asked, hey brother, by chance did you get the video on Breaker and Unicorn? I did make that. I'm pretty sure I did. It was such a niche video, but someone requested it. I'm pretty sure I did. Unicorn model versus regular breaker block. Yeah, I made it. Um, Unicorn model versus regular breaker block. I made that a long time ago. We went above OTE on this, which is interesting. Okay, I would consider this, since it's just a 2022 for value gap and then breaker and for value gap, it's not a full Kufu stack. So I just refer to this as since it only has 2 pieces of it, I would refer to this as what's it called? I made a name for it, D. Joser stack. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that template. I like both these templates. Then we get displacement. Bang. And then breaker. I'm curious if I can make a fair value gap template that kind of looks like this too. Dang, I like messing with the occupacity. Makes it interesting. this one better or this one? And all the way down to Asia low. Bang. Equalize taken. 90-minute SMT. Got inducement of this high. Then inducement of this high. Bang. That's pretty cool. And then down to Asia lows right there. And this was the silver bullet right here. Hey, what up, Chess? Dude, no one's been watching for a minute, so I've been kind of quiet, but this is kind of cool. We had a 2022 model, two-way breaker and for value gap, and then expansion lower. So anytime it has like two of the three models within a market maker sell model, I call it, I nicknamed it DJOSER, Joser stack. If it includes the rejection block entry, if it includes the for value gap entry and a breaker and for value gap, then I nicknamed it the Khufu stack. So since this is only a 2022 gap and then breaker and for value gap, it just has two. But look at how we manipulate all these true opens. Pretty cool. Anyway, this is kind of, once again, this is the most like advanced thing I've discovered, but I think this is so sick. And yeah, let me go lower. But anyway, I'm just going to quickly screenshot it and then I'll move on. Yeah. Oh, I'll also put little arrows so people know, like, short here, right, short here. There you go. Bang, bang. Once again, sometimes, obviously, some of these trades are not realistic, but I'd like to backtest and journal them, so I just get a little better. Even if I'm not necessarily going to take them live, because this is obviously a super advanced idea, I like to just observe it and learn from it. So 954 on the 15-second. Okay, and there was a Phoenix model at the high. Man, I feel like I've backtested the heck out of this day. I don't know. There's a lot. I guess I want to backtest the London session. You can categorize as low and risk buy. Yeah, it's a very advanced model, but it describes the market in very deep detail, which is why I like it. Okay, I'm gonna look at a London session. What London session should I look at? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? And I'm gonna delete this now. I'm done looking at that. Let's look at Tuesday London session. Usually Tuesday London sessions are like awesome. Okay, so here we go. London session 2 until 5. Dude, I already see the IFG right there. Bang. There you go. That was clean. I'd probably take it right on that closure. Well, actually, there's probably. Okay, let's get out ES. Let's get out S&P. First, let's see if there was a. What is TGIF? Okay, so it's actually super simple. It's just basically, you know the weekly profile classic expansion week, where Monday goes down, Tuesday goes up, Wednesday goes up, and Thursday goes up, and then Friday will go down. Obviously, this is just a template, right? It might look a little different, but this is the classic expansion week where Monday goes down, pushes into a key level, and then Tuesday expands, Wednesday expands, Thursday expands to our drawn liquidity. No, it's very important. We need to hit that drawn liquidity. If we don't, Friday will likely continue expanding to that drawn liquidity. But assuming we hit the drawn liquidity on Thursday, knowing the weekly profile is a classic expansion week, on Friday, you basically, TGIF is, thank God it's Friday, and basically you anticipate, since the drawn liquidity was hit on Thursday and we know it's a classic expansion week, we can anticipate Friday to fall back within the range. And it's basically just super easy bias is what it is, because you know, okay, Friday is usually going to retrace when we have a classic expansion week where we hit our drawn liquidity on Thursday. And usually it's about 30%, basically about a 30% move, I think, back into the range. Back into the range. No, it's not really. This isn't really market maker model. This is just a weekly profile. And then this day right here is Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so it's just a way to get good bias is what it is. So yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at London session. Let's see. Yeah, London session on Tuesday. I want to see if there was S&T, and why is it not moving together? Is the setting not on? It should be moving together. Anyway, I'll get it figured out. Okay. Was there just not SMT at all? Okay. No SMT with the S, right? Obviously, oh, there was SMT down here. Wait, was there? That's a higher high. And that's a higher high. Psych, there's no SMT, bro. What the? Oh, there's SMT with, oh, it's with this low. Okay. I don't see a bearish SMT for some reason, but it's all good. But I do see a 2022 model, and I do see suspension block. Okay, this is gonna get interesting. I guess I'll briefly check and see if there's a SMT with YM. Okay, is there? You using PSP? Yeah, basically if it's a PSP, I just nickname it precision pin bar because that's what it is, right? It's a pin bar instead of precision swing point. It's in my opinion it makes more sense to call it a pin bar. So, but yeah, I do look for those. Was there bearish SMT? Come on, there had to be, right? At least something, maybe. Yeah, we have bearish SMT with this high. Interesting. And we have a bearish SMT with this high. Okay, so there were two bearish SMTs. Cool. Okay, both with YM. So, okay, a lot of different thoughts here. One, there's an IPG right out the gate, which is kind of cool. But I kind of want to go in lower time frame. Really get an idea here of what happened. Oh, was there? You know what I'm so curious about? I've never looked at it before. But is there a London first presented for value gap? And if so, then what time would it be? Because there's no market open in London. I think first percent for value gap for London session should be. Oh man, I don't know what time to use for it. Oh yeah, let's look at ICT GPT and see if it'll tell us. I don't know if that's going to give me a response or not. Yeah, that's a silver bullet. That's different. Yeah, it might be the first for value up that forms after 2. That's probably what it is. Anyway, it's all good. Well, I kind of like these relatively equal lows. Yeah, because silver bullet is different than first percent for value gap. I'm talking about first percent for value gap of London session. So I would say first for value gap after 2. Exactly. Do I have a template for relatively equal lows? Nah, I'm not gonna make a new one, dude. It's too much. It's too much. I would say first and for value gap of New York. I mean of from 2 until 5 would be the one that's valid. But what do I know? Oh, I'm gonna have to backtest it. I will backtest it actually. I'm gonna look and see this because this might be it right here. Okay, where's midnight? We get midnight here, so I do want to pay attention to all these things. We got midnight here. All right, 130 here. Oh dang, 130. That's weird. 130 doesn't really get manipulated. Interesting. What's that? It's a tricky London session, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I like there was a 3-minute suspension block that we respected. I really like the suspension block because it came after an inversion for value gap. So a suspension block is a candle suspended between two volume imbalances, so like this. So volume balance on the bottom. I really like this suspension block. So I think the trade is honestly to use this 3-minute suspension block in premium, by the way. Right? So we have a leg here. I like that I want to measure within premium of this, and then premium of this also rebalanced. So 3-minute suspension block, I would look for line time from change of state or IPG off of that. And I think that would be kind of fire. So flow state with a suspension block. Yeah, it is kind of cool when you see stat gaps like that. Okay, I don't need this SMT, I know it's there. Okay. So 3-minute suspension block, 2 SMTs. Sweep out of this high. Actually, these highs, all these highs here. So it's kind of it's low-key kind of a 2022 model, but I'm just gonna call it a flow state. So here's our 3-minute suspension block. Here's our relatively equal lows. Wait, like going to find high time frame. Oh, interesting. And what does that mean? That's a good draw on liquidity? You mean when there's on the current candle that's being created, there's no wick. Is that what you mean? On the current candle? Or do you mean on a candle that's already formed? Which one? A candle that is already formed, or the other way around? Or a candle that's still forming that's a higher time frame candle? This is sick. Right here. Bang. I'd go change in state right here. Forming is better. Nice. Is it referred to as devil's mark on both or just on the... But basically it's just whenever there's no... when there's not a down wick. Or is it only devil's mark on one of those options? Like when it's only when it's forming or either one? I might not be making any sense. It's fine. I put stop loss there. Bang, bro. That's a fire London session trade. But either one can still be referred to as devil's mark, right? Nice, bro. Okay. I'm actually curious if there's anyone else even watching. Let's check. Oh, I keep forgetting about this thing. There's 2 watching. Let's go. Let's check the 22-minute true open. So any candle without a wick is a devil's mark. Period. I'm just wondering the definition. So there's 306. There's also 243. I'm using 306. Oh, that's sick. Okay, that's really good to know. I'll have to make a video on that. So it's basically just a good draw on liquidity. Okay. What is devil's mark? A candle with no no wick. Could be forming still or already formed. A candle body with no wick could be forming still or already formed. Okay, flow state with this suspension block looking pretty nice. Oh yeah, and then $306. You're struggling to teach it? Yeah, no, you're all good, bro. You're teaching it fine. Bang. Cha-ching. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. There you go. That's a good trade right there. Bang. So 303. Low state, 3-minute, 15-second. Oh, this is on Tuesday. Shoot, almost put it on the wrong day. Okay, 303. Dang. Maybe 304. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting kind of tired. Like, are you seeing any candle in the chart that doesn't have any wick? It's hard to see. 99% of candles have wick. It's about time aspect of trading to, like, think about that. If 1 hour candle created and doesn't have any wick in the downside and we were in the 40 minutes, the market is rushing to fix the anomaly and distribute downside. It draws like a magnet. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Because if you think about it, wicks, literally mean that opening prices have been manipulated. So if the open hasn't been manipulated, anyone who's been in that candle since the beginning of that candle, they're they have not been efficiently delivered to that other side of that candle yet. It makes sense. Okay, I like the let's actually just delete a whole bunch of stuff here. So I want to keep the SMTs. That's the main thing. So let's keep the SMT. I want to record this inversion for value gap. All right. I think this one's a realistic trade. I kind of like it. We also have a retest of it. I don't know, not the most perfect trade in the world, but not bad either. There's a good chance you could get break evened out on it, but yeah, it is an anomaly. Okay. I don't know if I love this trade, but it's just an observation. So reason is because we have this external gap and this external gap as well. So, and obviously bias at this time is bullish. So I honestly really don't like this a lot, but I'm just recording it. It'd almost certainly be break even. What's your idea about risk entries? Do you have an idea to make them safer? Um, I usually will. I'll look for a higher probability entry. Like, let's say we got this, I'll just be patient and then look for something else. Like that suspension block, change state of delivery off of the suspension block, something like that. I'll just be patient. I wouldn't take the riskier setup. It's like I probably wouldn't take this. I just probably observe it and be like, interesting. Because once again, it's not super obvious. There's a gap here and a gap here. APG on the 3 minute, and this is probably a front run of the 5 minute or something. Yeah, it definitely is. 5 minute also inverses. So front run of the 5 minute. It's Tuesday. I also like this the 3 minute fractal that formed. That was, I think that would have been a way safer entry. So entering on this this fractal, meaning swing high that forms in the market with SMT. And then bang. Something I've never talked about before, but I've just recently started talking about them. Oh, it's an outside bar. Oh, yo, actually, that's a better way to enter. Actually, it's an outside bar. Yeah, I would just consider this an outside bar then. Dang. Yeah, that's actually way cleaner. Dang. Yeah, that's clean. Probably just not go break even on this one. I mean, I would say. That's a fire outside bar. We do take the high of that, right? Yeah. Dang, I like that a lot. I know, outside bars are so nice. I thought I was gonna have to take this, mark this out as like a something else, called a fractal, meaning just like once a swing high forms, you enter. But I like this way better. That's fire. You would just have to not go break even, or go break even at this low, which both are fine. And we're delivering from an imbalance here. That's sweet. Bang. I am getting kind of tired. I keep forgetting to have this. Okay. Once again, this was on Tuesday at 2:45. Outside bar on the 3 minute. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break. I'll come back, but I'm getting a little tired. But I'm gonna come back, take a break, and I'm gonna probably keep back testing. I might go to the gym eventually though. But yeah. Okay, 2:45 outside bar 3 minute. Save. Okay. I'll be back. Actually, I might just be done. Yeah, I've backtested plenty. I'm gonna be done. Dude, I backtested plenty. Let's see if there's anyone watching. Let's refresh it. One watching. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, I might actually come back in like a little bit, and like maybe even in literally 5 minutes. I might restart and do it. I might play some chess and start a new.